At the end of Dispatch, we all know that there's two options, either spare Shroud or save Shroud, and whatever you choose to do at the end of the day, it was up to you truly, but in my honest opinion, there's really only one way to take care of him, and I honestly wish that there was more than one way to take care of him. You could either knock him out and let him stay there, or you could just give him a rear naked choke in the back of the room. Let's be honest, we all wish there was more than one way to destroy him and or spare him, quote unquote. So I wrote a few down here of what I thought would be good ideas. First one here is you take the astral pulse at first and you grab him with the mech suit you have and you just go at Mach speeds with him in your hand until he's turned into dust. Another choice here is you just grab him like you accidentally grabbed that puppy when you were too young and you crush him like a Twinkie. You shake him a few times to wake him up beforehand though, but we don't talk about that too much anymore. I'll try to spare you from that nightmare. Or you make it a little bit more complex there. Throw him into the air. And you use your mech sword, you like Fruit Ninja from Dave & Buster's at the final end game there. You just slice as many times as you can and call it a day. It'll make him into confetti, but maybe his villain allies will learn a thing or two about trying to betray you and the hero organization. Am I right? I think I'm pretty right on this one. It'll teach him a good lesson and might make your hero organization a little bit more violent, but you know, it is what it is at the end of the day. You could also do something else here, what I like to call good old pinata trick. You throw him into the air and then you grab him with your mech suit. Don't fly at Mach speeds to hurt him, but you knock him out if you so choose, okay? And you literally bring him into space with an oxygen mask and slightly tap him with the side of your sword just so he slowly goes into the sun. I think that one works pretty well. You could also just go straight for it, throw him in the air, use your special ability used on the special spider suit Shroud had, except without the spider suit there, and make it so it's very, simple, not complex, and you just blow him up with that special ability. I forgot what it's called, but there's two of them, and I'm talking about the one with missiles that goes boo, 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 boo. Whatever. Another one is, this is not physical damage, but it'll do so much mental damage to him, it might actually put him back into a permanent state of childlike thinking. I call this one Mecha Mom. You start dating Shroud's mom after he quote-unquote falls off the building, barely surviving, breaking every bone in his body, and you somehow accidentally permanently disable his voice box, so that doesn't work either. He can't speak. One day, you show up and come to check on him, talk to his mom for a bit. She cries on your shoulder, and you take her on a date to try and get her away from the stress. You hire Vizzy as a quote-unquote babysitter for Elliot. Who knows what she does while you're gone, but it doesn't really matter. We hate this guy to begin with. Since Shroud's in a cast as well, it doesn't matter what happens. You also eventually make it so his mom falls in love with you, and you start feeding him blue Jello every day because you told his mom that was his favorite one out of all of them. Because he's in the cast, he couldn't even try and make a sign language version of what to tell his mom. You make it so he can't even ring a bell or anything, kind of like that dude in the wheelchair from Breaking Bad, or else you'll make his life even worse. And let's be quite honest, it wouldn't matter at this point anyway. His mom loves you and won't believe anything he says because she knows what kind of person he was beforehand. Not just that, but he has no sort of device, not even a copy of the astral pulse that could kind of predict what you were going to do for him anymore. One night, you decide to tell his mom to go ahead and take a rest, take a load off, because she's just really working herself down to the bone. And she tells you, but you work for this family and pay for everything. You need some rest time too. You say, don't worry, honey, go lay down in bed. I'll be there shortly. And you decide that tonight's the night you're truly gonna get your revenge on Shroud. Now, this whole time, he thought the torture was simple and it was just going to be you dating his mom and him having to watch it, but no, it gets much worse for him. He decides it's feeding time, and you know it's feeding time. You decide to switch out the blue Jello you've been feeding him for so long with some beautiful Old Spice deodorant. Old Spice, sponsor me. Specifically Old Spice Swagger, because it's the deodorant you've been wearing for this whole time up to this point, just so he kind of gets a little whiff beforehand, but it still looks like Jello, so he's not going to be able to fully tell. You have him take a bite, and the moment he tries to spit it out, you tell him, listen, if you dare spit that out or think about saying anything, I'm going to make out with your mom in front of you for eternity, and I'm never leaving. And this is your only choice to do exactly what I say. This is my vengeance, and it will never end up with you being destroyed, but you will never fully mentally repair from this, and this is what you deserve, Shroud. This is what you did to me and my people for a very long time, and what you did to me from the age of when I was a kid, so, eat it and weep. So, of course, he doesn't want to see you and his mom making out while playing fake cowboys to quote-unquote entertain him, while you save his mother from the fake train that was coming to hit her on the train tracks, of course. Wild West themed, so obviously you bring in a fake horse into the house and all of that. Elliot is going to finish it because he's he's a good little boy and he's gonna do whatever you say. And from now on, you can continue to feed him as much Old Spice deodorant as you want, and it won't matter because he can't say anything and he won't. This man will probably never make another bad decision in his life and probably will never come out of the childlike state his brain will permanently be within now. So you could then force him to call you Papa or Daddy on top of that, and one day you just get up and leave his mom and his family and never come back. If he also tries to break a move on you throughout this whole entire period, you could also just choose to simply break another one of his bones, and when they go to the hospital, you say, I would never do anything like that. When they ask, well, why has he been eating Old Spice, you could say his favorite flavor is blue. I've caught him a few times trying to sneak deodorant off me because he said he smelt and I agreed with him he needed it, and he must have taken a few bites. I was wondering why there were literal mouth chunks, and I tried checking with him and he swore to me he didn't eat it. He's a grown man. I believed him. So overall, I think these are the best choices that we really could have gone with here. Some better than others, obviously, but let me know what you think. Leave a like, subscribe, all that stuff. Peace.